Hey there you guys, welcome back. Today we are going to harvest some seeds from these lovely gourds. During the holidays, Thanksgiving, you'll probably see a lot of these. Now that that's over with in the States, Thanksgiving's been over for a long time for me. And Halloween's been done and gone, and now I've got these sitting around. Normally I would compost them, but this year I wanted to, or I guess next year, I'm running out of focus. Next year I'd like to grow these instead of pumpkins. I find that pumpkins are a little bit too big in the garden plot, take up way too much space. The leaves are gigantic, they run for days, and for the yield I don't really get a lot of pumpkins that are worthwhile, so I still have to end up shopping for some. So you might as well just have fun. And I really love these little gourds. I buy a lot of them every fall, and I thought, hey, let's just harvest our own seeds. Let's grow them ourselves. These ones look a little bit waxed. They're very shiny. It could very well be their normal color, but this one here used to be shiny, and now it's getting more and more dull. So I have a feeling they've got a wax coating on them. And that's alright. Preserves them a little bit. I really like this one. This one's really cute. So anyway, I'll bring the camera down. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to treat them like a pumpkin. We're going to cut the tops off, we're going to scoop out the seeds, and then we're going to lay the seeds flat on a paper towel, and then we're going to let them dry for a couple of days. You're not going to see that, and then I'll just separate them from some of the goo, and then put them in an envelope. I don't know what each one is called, so I'm not going to separate them by name. I'm just going to have an envelope that's called gourds, and I'm just going to throw the package in the ground in the spring, and whatever grows, fabulous. I want to have a nice mix of plants and fruit that's going to be coming out of this, so I'm rambling on. Let's just get to it. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a variety of different types. I really like the variety. So I'm just going to... I've never done this before, so it's going to be a learning experience for all of us, I guess. This one is hard. This one I might not be able to get anything from. Just be careful not to kill yourself here. You want to have the same number of fingers going in as you do coming out. Wow, that is a hard one. Let's, I wonder where the seeds are. There we go. Hope I didn't cut through them all. It was much harder than I expected. There they are. That's what I was looking for. So I'm just going to take all of these little seeds out. We're going to put them on the paper towel over here. Just like a pumpkin. Easy peasy. I have a spoon here as well. Not all of these are going to sprout, but there's going to be a lot of them. So I'm just going to basically throw them in the garden. I don't need all the seeds. I've got a compost bucket over here. I'm just going to toss them all in a pile around my trellis, and whatever sprouts, sprouts. I have a feeling quite a number of them will grow. So we're going to have them on the paper towel and lay them as flat as we can, so that they can dry out. Let's do this big one here. There we go. Cut it in half. They are related to pumpkins. They're a gourd, so I should have known that they're going to have a thick shell. Look at these gross little seeds. They're all slimy and icky. It's alright. I think this will be so much fun to grow next year. I wonder if some of them might have cross-pollinated, and I'll get something a little bit different. I don't need all of them, for goodness sake. Be very careful when you're cutting through these. They are very hard. I thought that they would have a much thinner coat than they have. Didn't really think that through. But there's lots and lots and lots of seeds in here. Holy goodness. Look at them all in there. They're crazy. Okay, well, you don't need to watch the whole seed pulling or seed gathering. Let's just move this over and I'll show you what I'm going to do here. I'm sure if you have a compost pile at your house, if you live in the country, I used to throw these seeds in my my manure pile, and in the springtime I'd always get something sprout, and it was always a mystery. Usually it was pumpkins, but not all of them would sprout, but some of them I would definitely get a good harvest the next year. So I'm just going to take away what I can of the gross yucky bits. Take those away. We're just going to lay these as flat as we can. Leave these in a dry location, warm location. Let them just air dry. And we'll come back to these in a few days and we'll break them apart and put them in an envelope. And then they'll be ready for next year. Okay, so it's been about a week and these have not moved from my table here. They've just been drying, doing their thing. So I brought down some envelopes, and I just want to write on there, mixed gourds. And then the date. Today is December. Actually, I don't need to write the month. I just need to write 2015. I guess it doesn't matter the month. I just need to know what year, because in years past, I would store seeds and I would forget when I collected them, and if you don't know, generally, and it's not all seeds, but seeds tend to lose 50% of their germination rate after the first year. So if you buy discounted seeds, it could be that they were from an older year. So check the date, and yeah, newer seeds sprout better. Alright, so let's just see what we got here. I was finding that with some of the gourds, there was a little bit of mold happening within the gourd. That's what these ones are. These have a little bit of black on them. Got a fungus gnat in my face. You can't see it, but I'm trying to slap it away. Alright, I don't need to keep all of these seeds, so let's just open up and see what we got. Had we chose to let them dry on a plate, we would have been able to scratch them off the plate really easily, but I chose the hard way, and they're sticking to the paper towel. So everything is dry here. And if you get some paper towel in your envelope, don't worry about it. It's just going to dissolve when you get it wet. And the plant will go through it anyway. Okay, so we've got them all kind of broken up and separated it from the paper towel. I don't have them all done. That's fine. I don't need them all. Now I'm just going to take them and throw them into the envelope. And we'll plant these in the garden in the spring. Maybe not all of them, but we'll definitely do a nice mix from both of the envelopes. Alright, because I don't know what seed is what. So you want to use a paper envelope or a paper bag or make an origami paper envelope. You don't want to store them in plastic because you could get some mold grow in there, and that is something you certainly do not want. You want to store your seeds at cool or room temperature in a dark place and a dry place. If they get wet, they could start to sprout. If they get too hot, that might not be a good thing. But storing them over winter is usually not too bad. I usually store mine in the basement, and it gets a little bit cooler down here, but definitely not cold. I've got the grow space down here, as you know, so it can't get that cold. I've got tropicals down here. All right, let's just throw some of these in here. Gonna have a nice assortment. I hope that when these sprout, they're not all the same type. Can you imagine? If it's only one type of gourd. Alright, so we've got some that didn't come off the paper towel. That's fine. I've got hundreds of seeds. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. There they are in there. Save some of your seeds from your festive gourds and try growing them next year. See what happens. They're a lot of fun to grow, and they're very unique and interesting. So you might as well save some money and do it yourself. Anyway, if you haven't joined my Plants and Things Facebook page, join the Plants and Things What's Growing, or you could just join the regular Facebook page, Plants and Things. I'm not on there nearly as much, but it's a good time no matter what. I'd love to see what you're growing. What seeds are you saving? I don't know, just in general. Tell me what you're up to. It's a fun group. Anyway, until next time, happy growing. See, the root system's not terribly big. It's not really crowded in its pot, per se, from a root perspective, but I need to move it into a bigger pot solely for stability. As this thing gets bigger, it's only going to get more top heavy. So